let's talk about some manga. I'm going to kick things off with this new series that's been doing some bits, Sakamoto Days. So, Mr. Sakamoto is basically Japan's deadliest assassin. No job's too dangerous for him. He can take out whoever he wants. Until one day when he falls in love. Opens a convenience store, retires from this bloodthirsty business, and vows to never kill again. Oh, and in the process, he gets a little fat and tubby. These days, he spends his time looking after the family store, running the business, blah blah blah, living the humble life, until his past starts to catch up with him. Basically, every chapter, someone from his old organization rocks up at his shop and tries to kill this sweet little old tubby man. And this, honestly, this is where the story absolutely freaking slaps. You see, Sakamoto's still a badass. I mean, look at this. In one punch, he manages to rip apart a gun and knock the guy clean out. In this panel, someone walks into a shop, tries to shoot a bullet in his face, and he spits out a cough lolly and deflects it mid-trajectory. What? And all the while, his glasses never unglint themselves. The sign of one of the strongest characters in all of manga. This is so hype, and I'm not gonna lie, a little bit darker than most of the shonen stuff I'm used to, so I'm feeling it. Sakamoto Days takes all of those sweet shonen family vibes that you'd expect from a story like this, making it feel wholesome as fuck, but then completely doubles down on the action and then whips us straight back to comedy vibes. I mean, this series is a roller coaster. Now, to be fair, this is probably a little bit premature. I've only read 10 chapters or whatever's out of this series at the moment. And honestly, it doesn't feel like the kind of thing that's going to be around for a long time. There's no long story set up here. But regardless of all of that, it's a really nice fresh direction for some Shonen Jump content. So check it out while it's there. And next one. You know when you read a story that completely tears down what you think you like about manga? Well, that's what happened with this one. Hat Atelier. Basically, the story follows this girl, Coco, who desperately wants to be a witch, but, isn't. So much so that she tries out some magic that turns out to be some secret, ancient, forbidden jutsu, and it turns her mum from a perfectly regular mum into a crystal mum. No, mummy! Fortunately for Coco, she gets swept up by this super handsome man witch named Kifri, or Quifri, or Quifre. I don't really know how you say his name, but I go with Kifri. Anyway, he says, hey, why don't you come with me and we can figure this crystal magic shit out together? So Coco's like, yeah, alright, and basically the Harry Potter vibes end there, because from here on, this story gets a whole lot deeper. Forbidden magic, secret organizations, government conspiracies, hidden agendas, and if that alone isn't enough for you, just look at this art. It is fucking stunning. You can't argue against that. I think I'll probably do a bigger breakdown on this series at some point because its magic system is so tidy and I really want to chat more about that. But for now, if there's one thing to take off this list, this is probably it. I mean, there's an official English publication out, so yeah, if you're interested, go cop that. Next, manga. Mac, are you seriously recommending One Punch Man in a 2021 manga review? Oh, yes, I am. So many fans of the series checked out after season 2 of the anime, which I can't blame them. It was pretty underwhelming compared to the first. But they didn't uncover the fact that this story is still going so strong. So, as the chapters have gone by, we're seeing the focus shift away from our overpowered caped bald dude and his incredibly short-lived fights, and much more towards the other heroes of this story. And honestly, some of the fights those other heroes get pulled into are some of the best action scenes I've ever read in my whole life, and they definitely last a lot longer than One Punch. Look at this guy, Garo. He's basically a bad boy Rock Lee who goes around hunting down all the other heroes, but somehow through some clever writing, we're rooting for this dude. At least I am. And then look at this guy, Metal Bat. He's just another pompadour delinquent with a badass attitude and a metal baseball bat, but his character is insane. Ooh, scary. And then we've got this little boy genius who has this cool backpack and he flies his own Gundam robot. And then we've got this samurai that cuts things down to the size of atoms. And then we've got this giant fat dude that eats anything, like anything. That's his superpower. He can eat anything. How amazing is that in a fight? And this is just one small sample of some of the heroes other than this guy. Honestly, I've never seen action illustrated so perfectly. So to me, this is the creme de la creme. And now it's time for something a little bit darker. Kei Sanbei, who's the author of that hit series Erased that was all the rage like 4 or 5 years ago, returns with his latest work for The Kid I Saw in My Dreams. Now, this do be pretty dark though. The Kid I Saw in My Dreams follows these two young identical twin boys. The thing is, they have a slight telepathic connection between them. One day, someone breaks into their house, murders mum and dad, kidnaps one of the two twins, and leaves the other one behind. Confused and alone, Senri uses his twin brother's final few telepathic memories as clues, and then dedicates the rest of his life to uncovering whatever happened that night. This shit is tense. I mean, as far as murder mysteries go, this Kei Sanbei fellow's a bit of a legend. So yeah, official publication is out. If you're interested in owning the hard copies, this is another one to add to your shelf. If you like your dark shit, you probably won't find yourself putting this one down. Next manga. And finally, if you've seen any of my other videos, it'll come as no surprise to you that I hold the Kingdom manga in a pretty special place. In short, we follow this boy through ancient China as he grows from being just a common foot soldier into one of the most significant generals in all of Chinese history. And watching Shin and his army develop over these last 671 chapters that this has been running has captured the minds of millions around the world. But what makes this story so freaking pengaleng is the focus that the side characters get. This story runs so much deeper than just our main character, which is important because 670 chapters deep into this thing, it's definitely these characters that keep me reading on. And if you haven't started reading, then honestly, there is no better time than now. This manga's only going to get more and more attention as we get closer to the crescendo of this behemoth of a story. Last year, it completely outsold One Piece, making it the second most popular manga in the entire world. So give it a go, nothing to lose, right? Anyway, that is all the recommendations I've got today. Let me know what you're reading in the comments below. I would love to check it out myself. I could really do with some recommendations. Ciao for now.